Hi everyone, this is Jody at Cody's General Store, and we're here today in my studio, as you can see by the background. So we're going to do a little art project. We're going to finish one that I've already kind of showed you. We're going to add some transfers on it. But the main reason I'm here today is to have one of our little talks on letters to God. Remember, we're journaling and talking to God, getting everything out to help our day play out right. So that's what I do, is journal, and this isn't a religious program. This is about personal relationship with Christ, and God is showing up for us every day in our life, and I am an example of that because that's what he's done for me. I don't know how many years ago, maybe 50, I think, maybe 40, something like that. But anyways, today, what I really feel led to talk to you guys about, and like I said, this is for people that really feel that at this time in their life, they need more. They need more than what they've been living. When you're kind of consumed with fear and not moving forward in your life, you don't feel like you're living your best life, living all that you were created to be. That's what I'm talking to today. So what our topic is, our subject is today, what I really feel the Lord led me to talk to you about was the process. I talked to you about being saved and having a personal relationship with God and helping him change those things within you. But these are kind of some of the steps of how we begin to show up, how we get there. Because we know God promised that he would help us. He would help us on this journey and this path. But what we have to do is show up, for one thing, and discipline ourselves. So with that word being said, I never liked that word. I always thought that word was punishment. Discipline is not punishment. If you look at that word, disciple is part of that word. They're all discipline, disciple, they're root words together. And disciples, if you look back in the Bible, they were followers of Jesus, is what they were. They more or less believed him and told them that they wanted to learn by him. So it's kind of a path of learning and knowledge and growing. That's what discipline does for us, is it helps us learn, it helps us grow, and gives us knowledge. And for those that are stuck, I've been stuck a lot of time in my life, and that was one of the reasons why I finally gave up and said, okay, God, if you're real and alive, do something, because I'm not winning at this game. I'm not doing something right here. My life was a mess. So with that being said too, before we get on to some of the main things that we can do to begin to show up and change our life, if, like I said, if you're not happy with the way things are going and you're stuck, is to show up and apply some of these things. So with that being said, here we go. We're going to look at the project we're going to do too when I talk to you. So this is the vase that I painted and didn't do anything else with, because that's what I wanted to share with you guys, was that. So what we're going to do today, we're going to use this. This is IOD transfer. It's the Fairy Tale Florals. Let me move it up so you can see it. And I'll show you what we're going to do with it. It's got some really neat things on it, some flowers, and here's some, if you can see that they've already done on flower pots. So this is kind of a flower pot, I'd say. It was one that, remember I told you I picked up at, I don't know, a garage sale, I think it was. And of course it looked differently than it looks now. So I painted it, decided I was going to make it my own. So I just want to see some things we're going to embellish on it. Oh, that's pretty, like that. I like all of them. All right, so I'm just going to take this and cut some flowers, berries, leaves out of it, and just kind of create the journey at the process, guys. That's what I've been showing you when I get on here and do this. This is my happy place that, the Lord has blessed me with, to be able to create, to help build my self-worth and self-esteem. I'm looking for my instrument here. And I got it together so much that I lose all my parts. Okay, I don't know what I did with it, but I'm going to grab one out of this. It's just like a little ice cream stick that I use. So if we want, we can open this one up too, but I'm going to grab this first. Put that aside. and start showing you how we're going to put this on here. And I'm just going to put a portion on it and cut it. I think I'll just maybe put that there. As you see, I'm kind of measuring where I'm going to cut it. Maybe I'll cut it there. Okay, I just snipped it. I'm going to take this paper off. These are all IOD transfers that I am using. Placing it on there where I want it. And this is kind of on an angle, as you can tell. It's not a real flush surface. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to be able to get it on here, because it's going to roll all over and act crazy on me, is what it's going to do. So here we go. I'm just trying to get my papers ready too. All right. I'm hoping you all can see that. Maybe I'll move it up a little bit. How's that? So see what I'm doing is I'm just pushing this on. And like I said, it's going to be a little difficult at first because it's a concave type vase. It's not straight. But anyways, back to our subject while I put this on, and you'll see me doing this over and over. But back to our subject on disciplining ourselves. What does that look like? Say in our daily life, the changes that we need to make, the showing up, the disciplining ourselves, even in our thought patterns. Well, one of them is things that we allow to go into our mind. The things when we wake up and begin to read scripture and see, you know, like we talked about, journaling is one way to connect with God and to tell him everything that's going on inside of us. And that's what we've been talking about, is one way to get all this stuff out and to figure it out, to think deeper into why I react in this way. Why is this going on in my life? Where's God in all this? So that's the first step we do. And discipline in that is doing it daily, whether we feel like it or not. Disciplining ourselves. Oh, let me write in my journal. Let me get this stuff out. Let me talk to God. Doing that daily. And that doesn't mean that we're always going to emotionally want to or feel like anything is really changing or going on. But that's how changes come in your life, by showing up consistently and doing it daily. It's like lifting weights. I mean, you want to start getting a six-pack on you or getting into shape, you exercise, and you need to show up every day. You need to be consistent on the things that you're doing in order to see any growth, in order to see any changes in your life. So that is changing your habits on even the way you think, instead of always listening to the negative. How about writing out the promises over you that God speaks over you, the truth he speaks over you? Doing that is planting these seeds inside of you, this consistency, the changing, the rewiring of your brain. Those are habits, right? Speak positive things over your life. That's one of the first things that you do, because when you get up, I mean, I'm sure your mind's going like 90 thinking, what am I going to do today? Oh my gosh, life. I know my son had told me one time that when he would wake up, he's just like, oh my gosh, what have I got to face today? You know, who's going to beat me up? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? His self-talk was negative. He was raised by me, no father to teach him to really fight or do anything. He was raised by a mother's nurturing love, should we say, and not the man part of being raised. But it doesn't matter, because God came in and filled the void in his life. Like everybody else, you have that opportunity to change the way that you think, whether it was created from childhood or your peer pressure, school, whatever, you know, even a relationship. I mean, I was in negative relationships that I got myself into. I have nobody to blame for that. But it was my thinking patterns. It was my self-worth and how I felt about myself. So remember, these little habits that we can form through these changes that we need to do, whether we understand them or know them or not. I know sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to read the Bible. I don't understand it. Definitely, you can understand it. You can keep praying about it. Research, study. That is what a discipline does, is they study. If you don't know something about something, Google is amazing to get on there and research, even to lead you into more reading and knowledge. That's another thing, reading books. I never wanted to read. When I was in school, I hated reading, but I'll tell you what, I can't get enough of it because it is knowledge, it is growth. And I do want to grow. I do want to be all that I can be, but I have to show up and do something. And that's like you too. I can give you hints and say that, God is there and God is doing everything. And He is doing so much. But honestly, it's just like salvation. You got to accept the free gift. You've got to show up. You've got to do your part. And discipline is one of those things in your part to be able to see changes in your life. Doing them daily will add up and you will begin to live and see those changes after a time, right? It's called the journey and the process. All right, can you see what I'm doing here, guys? I don't know if this, maybe I can get down a little closer without tipping my camera over. Let me move it up. So trust the process with God. Show up, do your work, discipline yourself. If you need to go to the gym and keep working out to make yourself feel better, to get in better health, do it. That's all part of the process of you changing and you growing. Show up to do the work. Look, it's staying on there. Isn't that pretty? Little by little, we're just scraping. See how my project is turning out? It is kind of a thing where you see how this has taken me a while to do because of angles and everything else. That's like our life. Don't give up because things aren't changing right away. And like we talked about, don't look at circumstances. Get this stuff out. Talk to God. What's a journaling prompt that you can use for tomorrow morning to do with what we talked about? Where do I need to discipline myself, Lord? And discipline is not about showing up perfect. It isn't. It's not about doing it perfect, but just showing up. And in time, once you keep doing something, you get perfected at it better. But God doesn't expect perfection out of us. He expects for us to show up. It's about a relationship. All right, guys, we're getting it on there. And as you see, this isn't perfect. Of course it isn't, because I'm not a perfect girl. I show up, though, and I want to learn. I have a desire in my heart to learn and grow. Voila. Oh, that is so pretty. So now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this over there. But see how peaceful this is? For me, it's my happy place. It's a place to express myself. It's a place to talk to God. It's a place to think about those things that I want to get out. Think about those things that uplift me and encourage me, like I can do this. I was created for so much more. Okay, we're not done, of course. We're going to keep putting more on. I love it. I love it. I love creating, just like you should love creating one way or another. And like I said, you don't have to do everything that I do. You can do, I've been posting some beautiful quilting pictures from the quilt show, and those women are phenomenal, and the things that they do, amazing. I'm going to keep making videos of those quilts because I don't have them all out. I went there and took pictures of them. I don't have them all out. They're gorgeous. But just think about this. I can keep adding more of these flowers and other designs on here if I want. But isn't that pretty? That's going to be my own creation. And I just upcycled. I took something old and something discarded and am in the process of making it beautiful. All right, guys, that's like us. We are uniquely made, one of a kind. And honestly, at this point in life, the world needs us. So we need to start living our best life. All right. Well, until I see you guys again, remember, choose joy. And also, too, if you like our videos, check us out on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So check us out and stay tuned for more. Remember, choose joy. Thanks, guys.